Hello everyone, in this video I'll be covering 10 class mods that will be coming to console in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a video I've been asked to do many times now, so I went through and found 10 classes that are likely to come to console. The mod creator has put it forth to be released on console, and I didn't see any red flags with this making its way to console. So I have a bunch of mods here. There's 47 different class mods that I've installed in my game right now. There's a lot of great choices, but I'll be focusing mostly on the ones that people wanted to see and if they're likely to come. Now, Artificer being the most requested mod that I've seen so far. This is made by Echo0000. They've also put this mod forward for console approval, and we're just waiting to hear back on this. What's nice about this mod is it went live September 18th, so this gives us a very likely chance of this coming to console at some point here soon. The reason that I say that is we have Mistress Spell mod here, which came out October 3rd, and this is already available on Mac and console. So we're going to potentially see this sometime soon. Don't have a release date, but I'm hoping for a big console mod release probably tomorrow as per Friday, as we haven't had anything so far this week. And I know a lot of people are really looking forward to some more mods, so that's why I want to do this, because I was getting many comments for this. But it does seem like this mod will eventually come here soon. This is the most requested. It's got 145,000 downloads. Now, what it seems like is Larian is putting preference on mods that are highly downloaded and wanted by players. And this one obviously is really wanted by people. What's nice about this is it comes with 4 distinct subclasses, so I'll briefly take you through it. It's got different cantrip selections here, some different spells, and this is based off of the 5th edition rules set. We also got a bunch of unique benefits here that are unique to the Artificer itself with its own infusion slot. So you can add like strength checks receiving your intelligence modifier, dexterity checks receive your intelligence modifier, getting a +1 or +2 to your attack roll, +1 or +2 to your armor class, weapon attack and ranged weapon attack at +1, and then also add homing to a weapon or get advantage on concentration. There's 4 distinct subclasses. They're a lot of fun. I'll just quickly take you through them. So we got Alchemist, Armorer, Artillerist, and the Battlesmith. So this allows you to summon a Steel Defender. Artillerist focused on ranged combat using the Eldritch Cannon. Armorer is a very tanky one with the ability to buff your melee attacks and your ranged attacks. The range get lightning damage and can potentially inflict shocked, whereas the melee attacks deal thunder and can inflict compelled to duel. The Alchemist being a very cool one, so you can create alchemical potions and bombs with this. So what's fun about this is you also get a +3 bonus as they had to go about this route to make this work properly with the rule set, and you also get a bunch of skill proficiencies here. This class also isn't overpowered. What's nice about it is it's pretty well balanced in the running of Baldur's Gate 3. So I'll just quickly take you through what this looks like. And yeah, Echo0000 did a great job on this mod. Huge fan of it. They also created a mod for the Worm Sworn, so I'd recommend you go check that one out as well. Hopefully that'll come to console as well soon, but it's not on my list for this video. So you can see we have a bunch of class passives here that are really cool, and I've done a build guide on this so far, but there's many ways you can take this depending on how you want to play. And again, it's not super overpowered. Like, you have the ability to throw with a bonus action or add in many different effects. What's cool about this is it actually multi-classes pretty well too, so I'm a big fan of multi-classing in this game, and this one is very friendly for that. So you get a lot of arcane jolt effects, right tools for the job. You can summon a Thieves' Trap, Trap Disarming Kit, Shovel Bottle of Water, disappears after 5 turns, it's a bonus action, and once per short rest you're able to do that. And you can also, yeah, like there's so many cool effects to the Artificer. I just had to bring this one up. It also gets, you get to choose different weapon passive features here, so you can choose different weapons. I think that the Artificer is a great mod and likely to come hopefully soon, just because so many people want to see it, and it's a really well done mod. So I just had to highlight this one first because I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. But next we got ourselves the Priest class. So this is it's a unique healer. So this is made by C. Montgomery Burns. There's just C. Montgomery on Mod.io here. Now what's cool about this is it's got its own unique benefits. So you get stronger by casting more spells. So you get like your smites here, which grants 1 holy power. You got lesser heal, which gives you a holy power, and then the holy fire also uses holy power. So you get certain spells that you can use after using other ones, and I think that's a really cool mechanic that's not in any other class that we see in the game. You can toggle on to cast priest spells that normally cost a bonus action as an action. And holy power is given to the priest by gods, empowered by light to protect allies, or twisted into the shadows to damage foes with powerful spells. Now, what this one is like is it's kind of a healer combination class. So we get power word here, shield. So apply a shield that gives a target wisdom modifier times 2, temporary health. Grants 1 holy power based on wisdom. Applies weaken soul for 2 turns. A target with weakened soul cannot gain the effects of power word shield. So you get that to your teammate to get temporary health. You also have renew, which deals or gives a little bit extra healing, and you also get the power there, the holy power, and shadow word pain, 1d4 of psychic damage. Allow the target to glimpse of the shadow beyond the light, dealing psychic damage at the start of the turn for 4 turns. Grants 1 holy power. And there's some class passives too that you get. So whenever you heal an ally, heal yourself for half your class level. Your connection to the shadow allows you to heal yourself for 20% of damage done whenever you deal damage with a spell. An inspiration, shield gives the enemy or target +1 armor class while you're healing them with it. You also got Purify, removing any harmful disease. This uses 2 holy power. A stronger heal here, which also uses holy power, and Mind Blast, which uses 3 holy power, doing 3d4 of psychic damage. These also scale up as you level 2. It's an interesting concept, so you want to be using your lower level spells to be able to empower your higher level ones. So here your smite will also increase and your heal increases, and empower you and your allies, increasing constitution scores by 1. So lots of cool cantrips and spells that come with this, and you get more and more as you level up that do use your holy power resource. Bunch of class passives too. Focus your mind, making a spell cost no resources, which is cool, so you can use 5 holy power to make it a free cast, basically. Closer to light, granting 1. Basically, whenever you use get holy power, you get an additional 1 holy power, and you're closer to shadow. So pain to last till the target dies. Death no longer hurts you if the target is above 50% health. So some cool passives. I think the priest is a really fun class to play as, and you can see here some of the other class passives that you get as you go higher in levels. So every other level, choose 1 of 3 game-changing passives, making every priest unique. So that's what makes the class cool, is you get the option to add a bunch of different benefits to the character, and as they level up, they just get stronger and stronger. So you get different types of choices at level 12 for different auras. So at level 12, you get whenever you heal allies for 10% of your maximum health, generate 3 holy power per turn and grant extra bonus action. Shadow form, whenever you go into the void, and whenever you damage enemies equal to 10% of your maximum health and 2 damage reduction. And apotheosis, so you enter divine state, get a free cast of smite, holy power, power word shield, penitence, or purify each turn, and smite and holy fire deal 50% more damage. 3 options there to make yourself even more powerful. I think that that's a super cool feature. The priest class is awesome. C. Montgomery did a great job with this one, so I had to highlight this. This was also added September 11th, so this was added pretty early on the, in terms of the mods being released. This was released quite early, so we'll potentially see this. There's no hard and fast yes or no. All mods have to go through testing. And again, just want a disclaimer, some mods may not pass through clearing the testing. Classes like the Mystic, however, did with 63 disciplines, so I'm hopeful that things like this that aren't too complex won't cause any issues. We just have to wait and see. But that's that for this class. Now I want to show off the Scrounger, which is a very cool one. What's cool about the Scrounger is you can literally turn yourself into this big titan thing here with a dragon head that shoots caustic or deals acid damage. So the Scrounger's got some unique actions. So bound from an otherworldly patron, Scrounger seeks salvation in the fabrics of the material world. This gives us the motion-assisted prosthesis, so yeah, you can't be knocked prone. You can jump and knock people prone. Get the effects of being large. Yeah, you get a lot of cool effects whenever you're in your different form here, and you can fabricate things. So this is where this class really shines, is you can create different tools, grenades, and different weapons or different things that you can apply to your weapon to make it even stronger. Also, depending on your choices later down the road, you can choose to add like a different hammer or a different weapon to your arsenal, and they're actually pretty strong. And then you also get the backpack here. So there's only one subclass, the Witch Machino here, which gives you those basic fabrications, which potentially more coming soon. But yeah, a bunch of different class features here. Use your spell casting ability for any type of weapon that you make. And they do disappear after a long rest, but equipment and tools do not. So you can just summon in a bunch of stuff. You got a resource for it, so you got 5 units worth of biofuel, which allows you to create different effects and items. And yeah, as you continue to proceed through the levels, you do get a bunch of extra cool effects. You also get the Empowered Swarm, which deals bonus raw damage equal to 6% of a target's maximum health point and heals you for 6%. So many different effects. This is an interesting one, and it looks cool too. Like there's a swarm attack with all the flies and stuff, and then there's the being able to shoot with it. But you get this really cool thing that's using like a dragon's head and kind of like the Illithid. I think it looks like kind of something the Illithid would have. So yeah, you also got, you can summon in a flesh golem, which is super cool. You use your industrial fuel tank. So as you level up, you get the ability to have more of the resource, obviously, and then you can create different effects from that. And there's lots of choices here. So as you continue to get more powerful, you can choose different types of evolutions for your bio exoskeleton here. And yeah, this is super cool. You can see there, fabricate superior bombs, fabricate lung impaler, fabricate sunken maul, fabricate superior capsule, fabricate superior ammunition, fabricate superior concoction. And there's, 4 levels of the fabrication that you can create different levels of items that aren't in the base game, but they may be variations of stuff that's in the base game. This mod was made by Quibon here. I love this one. This was made September 21st, so it's relatively new with 30,000 downloads. I think in time, this will come. It does have a lot of things that are unique to it, so it may take a little bit longer for testing, but the mod creator has put it forward for console release, so we'll potentially see this. I think it's a really cool mod. And yeah, I guess next we'll get into the Arcane Vanguard. So this is a very fun class with 4 distinct subclasses. Basically, it's a spellcaster mixed with a martial class, and I love classes like this because the freedom, like having freedom of choice to be able to cast spells or cantrips or attack is something that I think is really awesome. So with this, you get a bunch of different cantrips. It also uses Mistress Spell mod, so for those of you who have it downloaded, this is great because you got all the options from there. Super nice. It also has a bunch of different spells, which also uses Mistress Spells. Like, you can get even Frost Fingers or Catapult and all the other ones, Armor of Agathis. You also get to choose a fighting style, and they're interesting, so you can add, like, Dexterity and Intelligence to modify our armor class, increase movement speed by 6 meters. Every time you deal damage with a weapon attack, you gain Arcane Acuity for 2 turns. So if you know the good old-fashioned Bard class that's overpowered using the Helmet of Arcane Acuity, this will give you it as a fighting style, which is awesome. So you can attack, increase your spell save DC so the enemy won't miss. You won't miss with your spells. Super fun. We also have the Into the Fray, so your ranged spell attacks are made as melee attacks that you can turn as on or off. Critical Momentum. Whenever you score a critical hit with a weapon attack or your spell attack, the critical threshold is reduced by 1. This can stack, losing all stacks in your next critical hit with a spell. So, yeah, whenever you attack with your weapon, you'll continue to stack that up, so your spells will crit as well. Really cool effect. We also have Exposed Cuts when you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and nothing else in your offhand. When you attack, damage a creature with melee weapon attack, you mark them for 2 turns, causing your spells and cantrips to deal an additional 3 slashing damage, which is nice on things like you can throw a Scorching Ray, hit them multiple times. And we also have the Echoing Malice here, so whenever you damage a creature with ranged weapon attack, mark the creature. Next time you deal damage with a spell or cantrip, deal a 1d4 damage to all enemies near your target. So obviously the probably the strongest ones are like adding your intelligence modifier to armor class, moving 6 meters more, Arcane Acuity, but also even things like critical momentum are really cool. Now another thing, this class has 4 distinct subclasses. The mod creator did a fantastic job with this one. So Eldritch Vanguard, Judgment Vanguard, Sentinel Vanguard, and the Arcane Dervish. So Eldritch is all about like psychic damage and focusing on your mind. You also get the subclass feature. So once per turn, if you inflict a status, you also cause 2 turns of mental fatigue. Judgment Vanguard. So this is almost like the Paladin style. So when you deal damage using a spell or cantrip, that spell infuses your weapon. You do additional 1d8 of that damage. Huge. With things like Green Flame Blade will add even further damage. You get Thorn Whip and Sacred Flame as well. And you get to pick 2 of the spells from this list here. So like Absorb Elements, Hail of Thorns, and Snaring Strike. The Sentinel Vanguard being, I guess this is also like a priest paladin style class. So whenever you heal a creature, you can add your intelligence modifier to your next weapon damage attack roll. So that's huge. And then we also get Word of Radiance, Resistance, and Guidance with choice of some more Radiant spells and healing and Ceremony, which is cool. And the Arcane Dervish, so your spells unlock latent potential in your melee weapon strikes, forming a dance at midnight, or Might and Magic. So after casting a spell, a special attack is prepared. And then you get different options like Charging Flourish, Staggering Flourish, Abjuring Flourish. So you can raise your armor class by 1 for 3 turns with that. You can lower the enemy's armor class by 1. And this can reduce attack rolls on the enemy, raise all your attack rolls by 1, reduce their strength, dexterity, and constitution by 1, or lower their wisdom, intelligence, and charisma by 1. So pretty cool extra options here. Deal additional damage, that's always nice, or reducing armor class. So yeah, you got 4 distinct subclasses. The mod creator, Sathos, did a fantastic job with this mod, so I had to highlight this. This was made September 15th. I think I like this one better than the one on Nexus Mods. There is a Nexus Mod version of this, but this is incredible, and yeah, I really like this one. So we got an incredible one with many, many different effects here. You can read the mod.io page. So this mod will find its way onto console. Mod testing team is a lot of water to wade through before they get the green light. Please be patient. More updates to come after this if they've been approved for console. Thank you for your patience. So, yeah, the mod testing team at Larian is obviously very busy, so don't expect these to come out immediately. There will be a little bit of a delay because there's a lot of things to test for Sony and Microsoft expectations for these mods. So, yeah, I do love this mod, though. I think it's incredible. You got a lot of choice. 4 subclasses, and they're all distinct in their own way. I think that this one's incredible. Sathos did an incredible job with this mod. So just wanted to highlight this one. And I guess the next choice that we got here is another personal favorite of mine with the Oakheart Sentinels. So there's previously the Oakheart Sentinel here, which had 3 subclasses. This one is made by Knightly ST, and they did a great job with the Oakheart Sentinels, which is the follow-up to it, because unfortunately they with their modding toolkit they lost the access to be able to update it. This one has 6 subclasses, and they're all really unique. What is the Oakheart Sentinel, you may ask? So if you took a druid and used the old rule set, making them also have a companion like the Beastmaster Ranger, and gave them more of a melee role. So they get the double attack, they get spell casting similar to what a druid would get, like all the druid spells here. They got Primal Savagery, Infestation. This one uses the Mistress Spells mod, incredible. And then also a bunch of, you can see here, like this is the very usual druid spell list. With this though, you do get you can choose from the Ranger's companions, so you can get the bear that summons a bear, you can get the raven that summons 2 more ravens. But each of these also has like different effects of the 6 subclasses. So the Spring Keeper can summon a hyena. You also get a few spells like Hunter's Mark and Orb of Spring, which is poison damage. And you get Oak Branch, which is a bonus action infusing your weapon. And yeah, each of these gets a good choice of different spells. So I recommend trying them all out. This is an incredible class, and hopefully will come soon to console. However, this was released October 12th. So a little bit after our Mistress Spells went live. So I don't expect this one to come very soon, but this is by far one of the most interesting mods that I've seen here. And you can also, this one lets you turn into a cat or a rat. Like, there's so many cool choices on this class. I think it's incredible. So you can see there, even the spell selection are really nice. And you can deal additional damage there. The Frostweaver gets things like Winter's Gift. It's like cold damage Eldritch Blast looking attack, Orb of Winter. You know I'm a big fan of the cold builds, so this one, people were asking if they made it for me, but no. Knightly ST is an incredible mod creator, so I do hope that this one will come soon. But yeah, go download this if you're on PC, because it deserves more downloads than 3,000. This is one of the best mods that I've seen in Baldur's Gate 3. It's freaking fantastic. So yeah, this one will likely be coming to console, but I would say maybe in about a month's time. It's hard to say with the timelines on these mods, but yeah, it's incredibly well done. Next, we got the Spectral class, which is cool, getting a bunch of different effects here. So with the Spectral, it's kind of like it's a martial class, but it can teleport around, and yeah, I can't find it in my mix of mods here. I think it got. Sometimes when you download mods, it does some of them get overridden. So the Spectral being a really cool class, I just can't find it. Oh, there we go. So Spectral class, I have played around with this, and you get some good selection for spells. Basically what the Spectral is you're a rather fragile being. You want to go invisible after you do your weapon attack or spell casting for the turn. So it's a close range full caster focused on quickly taking out foes and subsequently retreating. You gain access to many ways to turn invisible. Storming into the fray is not safe enough for you. Can help fall back with the big crowd control spell. So level 1, you get Spectral Escape. Become ghostly until the end of this turn. The spell ends if you attack, take an action, or take damage. And then you get class features where regain Spectral points per nearby enemy you attack out of invisibility when not wearing any armor. And mark nearby enemies and other spells for passives. So you can turn this on, and yeah, that's, I guess, for if the mod's not working properly. But what it looks like in terms of spells, like you get the Sap Vitality there. So sap the life force from an entity, damaging them and gaining 15 temporary health points. become ghostly until the end of this turn. That's the one that I mentioned there. Mind Seep, 3d6 psychic damage reaches to the victim's mind. Steal its movement speed, doubling yours. Super cool. This uses your spectral points. You gain the ability to cast Pure Ethereal to turn invisible as a bonus action while concentrating on this spell. Abduct, teleport yourself to a nearby enemy to take its place. You can see and spook the enemy. The enemy cannot be larger than medium. Appear Ethereal, so turn invisible, and you would attack against you have disadvantage. You attack with advantage for bonus action 1 turn. And you use spectral points. So some other options there that you can use. I think this one's really fun because there's not a lot of classes in this game that really focus on this style of play where you're like dodging in and out. Like, I mean, the rogue kind of does, but I feel like this one's more fun because you get spells and you can also attack too. So lots of great spell choice here. You got good things to fall back on, like command, which doesn't require concentration, so you can keep your concentration on other spells. I think the Spectral is awesome, and this one did come out October 6th, so it may be a little while before we see this on console, but yeah, it's a great mod. Now we got the Elementalist next. I know a lot of people are looking forward to more spellcasting classes. There is a decent bit of them, but with this, the Elementalist is studier of elemental arts. They focus on blasting enemies with powerful elemental effects, using elements to imbue martial fighting styles, controlling the battlefield with powerful elemental effects. So, few different subclasses here. So you got the Elemental Gladiator, which binds your pack weapon and makes you proficient with it if you're not already. Cannot drop it. We also got the Elemental Synergist, so half-caster mode, fix on spellcaster with mental prowess, blast foes with powerful cantrips, and spells while following up with elemental infused attacks. So yeah, with this one, it's mostly about the Elemental Synergist. You want to like cast your spells and then get in and attack. You also get your smites here, which is awesome. And some different class passives, so you become resistant to a damage type, and you cannot roll a 1. You get like the chromatic orb version of that. And then there's different class passives depending on if you go with certain subclasses. And the Elemental Weaver is a full caster focused on weaving elemental spells together with great ferocity. Really cool. So Gladiator, more so focused on heavy weapon attacks. This, in terms of this, like this is a martial class. This is a half caster. This is a full caster. I think this class is great. We've seen some great updates to it as well. So the unfortunate thing is when there's mod updates, this delays the testing even further. This is something that I've seen confirmed by a few mod creators. So whenever there's mods sent with updated like changes to the mod, the team that tests all these at Larian has to go back and test the mod even further. So it does cause some issues that we do have to be aware of. But yeah, this mod is pretty fun, and I think it's awesome. So this mod was made by Avery here, and yeah, it doesn't show the date that it was posted here, but it was last updated 21 hours ago. So as you can see, lots of recent updates. It may take a little bit longer, unfortunately, but yeah, we'll now move on to the Duskblade, which I think is a really cool class. So what this looks like is it's a spellcaster. Blur the line between spellcasters and warrior, marrying the power of magic with combat prowess. I love these classes that are spellcasters and melee attackers, because again, getting a lot of options is fun. This also lets you use spells from like the Blood Sorcerer, so you can kind of add that in as well. You also got your Mistress spells here, and then a bunch of different spells. So this is really cool. It's even have it got the gluten-free magic missile here. Lots of choice. The Duskblade, basically, you focus on dealing damage with both spells and melee attacks. So I'll just go through and briefly show off what this looks like. So you get the Arcane Metal, gain advantage on saving throws and maintain concentration. So that's nice. And then we get some choice in spells. At level 3, you get the subclass and level 2 spells, so that furthers open things up. And we got the Arcane Knight, which allows you to channel arcane power to form a heavy aura around you when not wearing heavy armor or shield. The damage you take is reduced by 2. The Spellblade, gain attunement with magic that gives you an edge in combat, gaining a +2 to weapon attacks. And the Magus, which specializes in unlocking the power of magical bending arcane power, gain a +2 to spell attack rolls. So 3 distinct subclasses, which are pretty fun. This mod is made by the creator on Mod.io, BG3 Duskblade class. Really great job with this one. You can see the full breakdown of the class here. So really, really well done. I think this class is a lot of fun. And put forward a request for console. Like other mods, there's no guarantee. It'll be chosen for a review and approval for console. I still think like this mod doesn't really do anything too crazy. So in time, I feel like this will come. It does have to go through the testing. So that's why a lot of mod creators are saying, hey, it's in the hands of Larian. They put forward the mod. So I don't want anyone to go and harass any mod creators. I've had some people comment and be really aggressive towards mod creators, but they're doing all this stuff for free. So, I mean, they're doing a lot of hard work that they're not being paid for. So do not harass any mod creators. Don't direct you're getting all this stuff for free. If you're angry over it, go play a different game or go play PC where you can get all these mods easily on PC. So yeah, the mod creators are putting these forward for testing on console, and hopefully we'll see some of these soon, but there's no guarantee. Next, we'll show off the Reaper class, which is pretty cool. So this is it's actually pretty balanced. The Wave Rebel is the creator there. It was created on October 1st. Basically, you get your power from a higher power. You get a reaction dealing cold damage, throwing your scythe, doing 4 to 32 cold damage. And there's a lot of cool effects with these Reaper class. So you basically get your hit points 1d8 per level. Light armor, medium armor, weapon, scythe, saving throws, wisdom and strength, skills you get to choose from there. Threatening presence, the aura of death surrounds you, exuding fear and dread to those that challenge your strength. At first level, add your strength modifier to intimidate and gain proficiency in the skill. Starting at level 3, you get intimidation expertise. Reaper Glaive, with every foe you spell, you draw forth their soul to strike terror into the hearts of others. At level 1, when you kill an enemy with a weapon attack, you get use a reaction to harness their soul into your scythe, and you can throw the scythe at an enemy within 30 feet, dealing necrotic or cold damage, whatever's more effective. Damage starts at 1d8 plus wisdom modifier and skills by 1d8 every 2 turns. Why thy design to wave the tether of dark energy, binding your foes to your force, feeding on their life energy. At level 2, as a bonus action, once per short rest, you can tether 3 creatures within 30 meters for 5 turns. The creatures must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become tethered. At the start of the tethered creature can make another save. If the target fails, they take cold damage equal to your class level, and you heal for the amount of damage done. That is really useful. So this one's very interesting because you are kind of like an undead Reaper. So it plays similar to some other classes in other games like that. At 3rd level, your souls drifts darker to the darkness, and you get to choose embracing a path. So I guess I can show off what this one will look like. So we'll pick the Reaper here. Go ahead. There's the Why Thy Dying. So you get the healing from it. You get to choose a deity at level 2. Pretty cool. And then at level 3, you get your subclass. So Death's Judgment gives you Judgment. So when in the state, your weapon melee attacks deal an additional 3 damage. Whenever you crit, you can make an extra free attack. And this is a bonus action, uses souls. And then the Death's Aegis. So whenever you're in this state, your armor class increases by 2 and you gain resistance to slashing and piercing damage. Whenever you crit, you can cast Soul Ward for free. So very cool subclass with a bunch of unique effects. I think the Soul Reaper, or the Reaper here by Wave Rebel, is a really fun class. Cool icon there too. I love skeletons. So also, side note, there needs to be more skeleton races in Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't seen any mods on that yet. But Larian's past game, Divinity Original Sin 2, had 4 skeleton races. So maybe we'll see something related to that soon. Next, I want to focus on the Warrior class. So this is a class that's also made by C. Montgomery Burns, and it's the mod creator for the Priest class. This is more so of a strength-based class, so taunt an enemy, forcing them to attack you for 3 turns. And this is actually a taunt that works properly. This is an attack that reduces armor class by 1. And then you also get the Heroic Strike, so attack with Powerful Strike, dealing additional damage equal to your Constitution modifier, half your class level 2. And then you get a bonus action, cast bonus action abilities using an action point. Rage, taking damage, you gain 1 rage for every point of damage you take. So you can use this to be able to cast more powerful spells. And then you also get 1 heroism when you taunt an enemy, so using your taunt will give you more heroism to be able to power yourself up. Prepare for battle, lower the threshold for critical hits by 1, add your proficiency bonus to all saving throws. Pretty nice. So you're a pretty tanky class. I'll just quickly show off what this will look like. It's a fun class. I think that the Warrior is unique, and similar to the Priest, this has a lot of cool things going for it. So you get some different options here, like Hamstring. You can do Blinding Strike, so blind them for 1 turn. Mocking Blow, taunting them for 2 turns. And attack your target's weapon, disarming them. This uses like 20 rage, and that's if you take 20 damage, you get to be able to use those. Pain and Gain. After taking damage, you're healed for 1, increases for 2 at level 10. Veteran Strategies. Your expertise allows you to move from ability to even easier. Abilities that cost heroism cause 1 less. And Armed to the Teeth. So your shield is an extension of you. When you have a shield equipped, gain a +2 bonus to your strength score and damage done. Pretty nice. So with that, we heal ourselves as we take damage. And then the Warrior level 3, reducing the damage done by half your Warrior level with the defensive stance. Shield Slam, so use your shield to quickly stun the target equal to Constitution plus Strength, may knock them prone. Shield Wall, reduce all damage taken by 50% until the start of your next turn. And the Battle Shout, give an encouraging shout to your allies, increasing their damage by the Constitution modifier. This is a pretty cool class. I think it has some fun effects. Cool class passives. You get some fun spells that you can choose. Rage, whenever you gain 1 rage for each point of damage done, as well as taken. So this gives you even more rage to use for your spells. If you're dealing a lot of damage, you're going to be getting this a lot. Every attack cuts even the enemy. Every weapon attack has a 30% chance to apply bleed, which can set up some other really powerful builds. Bleed will take 2 slashing damage each turn. And Menace, so you fear no enemies, you stand stalwart against the enemy to protect your allies. Each turn you can cast Taunt once without spending any resources. So Menace or Furious Rage being the best here. Being able to generate rage by attacking is huge because that gives you even more damage. You get the extra attack, Berserker Stance, so focus your rage, dealing and taking Constitution modifier more damage with every attack. And then also get the Blood for Thirst, so inflict bleeding on yourself for 5 turns and add your Constitution modifier slashing damage to your attacks. Rally and Cry, extend your shield's 8 armor class bonus to all nearby allies, increasing their armor class by 2. Demoralizing Shout, shout your strength and decrease the damage done by the enemy by 0. Or this increase, obviously, I'll show you in a moment. Mortal Strike, dealing an extra damage and stopping the target from healing for 2 turns. So they got a lot of really cool effects here. At level 6, you get Battle Stance, so lower the threshold for critical hits by 2. So what this looks like, you get like extra 8 slashing damage and decrease the damage done by enemy attacks by 2. So these use your heroism. We got our rage points there and heroism depending on like your different casting of spells. So this will give us an increased armor class for 5 turns, which is really nice. I think this class is really well done. So yeah, that's the warrior class. And that is the 10th class that we've got covered here in the Baldur's Gate 3 mod manager for console. I'm hopeful that all of these will come, but there's some like Demon Hunter and the Death Knight that I'm not, Shaman, I'm not too certain on, so I didn't want to include them in this video. But of the ones I looked at, I think all of these are very likely to come to console at some point, so I just want to touch on them here. But let me know your thoughts. What class you're most excited to see? Hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.